All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to talk about game one of the Eastern Conference Finals. And all I really have to say is, how about those Pacers, man? How about those Pacers? Uh, both teams put on a freaking great game, one of the best games of the year in the playoffs and the regular season. This was, for those who don't know what a hardwood classic is, it's the ones they usually run in the off season. I think you can get them with NBA, the NBA app. You can get some hardwood classics. This game was a hardwood classic. Um, all the makings of a rewatchable game, the ups and downs. We had regulation, we had overtime, we had a game-winning shot that turned into a game-tying shot. The Knicks did everything right. I have to preface this whole video with the Knicks did everything right. They did everything they could to win this game. First game, first game of the Eastern Conference Finals in Madison Square Garden in 24 years. They tried to win it. They tried so hard, but the Pacers came in there and got the W. We'll get into all the details in a second. If you like what I have to say, like the video. If you have your own opinion, comment it down below. And if you just like the vibes, consider subscribing. So yeah, man, this video is gonna be a lot about the Pacers. This is gonna be a lot about the Pacers. Again, my pick to go to the NBA Finals. I don't think that's a bad pick. They've shown so much grit, so much determination in this past. What has it been like? Almost a month now of playoff basketball. Man, oh man. We will talk about the Knicks though, because the Knicks again they tried their butts off, man. They really did. They did everything right. They did almost everything right. Um, but they just couldn't get that final punch in. The final score for you guys: New York Knicks 135 to the Indiana Pacers 138. That is an overtime win for the Pacers. Man, oh man, man, oh man. Let's before we start diving into the Pacers, because that's what everybody's going to talk about. Let's talk about the Knicks real quick. Um, the Knicks. This was such a tough game for them. This is the kind of game they like to play. They just they were throwing punches, man. They were throwing haymakers, and the Pacers kept throwing haymakers back, and just kept going back and forth and back and forth. And within that game and within those punches, you had Jalen Brunson, New York Knicks point guard, clutch player of the year this year with 43 points. He did have 5 personal fouls, 7 turnovers. Not his best game by those standards. Him being in foul trouble affected this game so much down the stretch. There were moments where he was on the bench and the Knicks did play well. They probably played the best they have without Brunson in those minutes when he was in foul trouble, but he was 1 of 6 from three. He took 14 free throws, though. He was 15 of 25 overall from field goal. He played 38 minutes, probably the least amount of minutes he'll play this whole series if he can stay out of foul trouble. And down the stretch, um, in regulation, at the end of regulation and in overtime, he tried, as he always does. They call him Captain Clutch, you know, tried to get the team over the hump, and they couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Karl Anthony Towns, the other All Star, the All Star center for the Knicks, 35 points. Also in foul trouble, 4 fouls. He had 2 assists, 12 rebounds, 9 of 11 from free throw, 4 of 8 from three, 11 for 17 from field goal, 39 minutes. These were the two guys that always power this offense, um, and I don't even know how to elaborate further on this. They got outplayed by their respective matchups, and credit to Indiana Pacers center Miles Turner. He probably did the best job he could have done on Karl Anthony Towns. He's the only real big body that could handle Karl Anthony Towns on the Pacers side of things. Um, Siakam did a little bit. Thomas Bryant did a little bit, but um, Karl Anthony Towns did go off. And to talk about why the Knicks did everything right and still lost this game, OG Anunoby, 16 points, decent. Mikal Bridges, 16 points, decent. OG Anunoby was in foul trouble as well. He did have 3 turnovers. Mikal Bridges also did have 3 turnovers. Um, both of them took at least 1 3. OG made 2 of them. Mikal didn't make any. And it was a pretty good shooting night for them, respectively. 8 of 16 for Mikal and 6 of 15 overall from OG. Josh Hart got a couple three, got well a couple. I guess it's only one now that I'm looking at it. Got 1 3 to drop. Gave it his all in defense. That's really what he's out there to do. But there were some defensive cracks in this New York Knicks system on the defensive end. I mean, Josh Hart had 13 rebounds, 1 steal, 7 assists, 8 points. There were some chinks in the armor for the Knicks. They just couldn't they couldn't string together enough. They would get these stops and they would go back on the other end. They would score it. They would tie the game. They would go up by one, but they really couldn't consistently get those stops together, like 2 in a row, 3 in a row. They couldn't do it. Um, that could be a factor that almost all of their starters were in foul trouble. Um, I will say this: the New York Knicks finally did dip into their bench a little bit more because of the foul trouble. Um, you had Miles McBride 9 points, Cam Payne 6 points. Sort of shot them out of the game at points, but that's what you get from Cameron Payne. Um, Mitchell Robinson 2 points, 8 rebounds. What he did in this game, him running the four and Cat running the three, um, was really good. Those minutes were really what's it called positive. They were really positive minutes. I think, and he wasn't even Mitchell Robinson wasn't even in foul trouble. He had 1 foul. He had 1 block, 1 steal, 8 rebounds. Um, I think this team is gonna have to consider starting Mitchell Robinson. And I'm not the biggest fan of Mitchell Robinson, but I think you have to you have to bring something, man. You have to bring something else to the table because the Pacers have already figured out this lineup, and they've already taken one in your house in Madison Square Garden. And yeah, I don't know what to say about this Knicks team, man. Again, they did everything right. They did everything right. They dipped into their bench. The defense at times was really, really good as it's been all season. The fouls were a little ticky tacky, um, but you got to be aware of those things when you're playing this Pacers team because this Pacers team will take any advantage they can get to win this game. In the sense of, oh, you're in foul trouble, let's go at him. Oh, you're not having a good shooting game, leave him open. Oh, Josh Hart doesn't shoot that well at the 3 point line, leave him open. You know, Mitchell Robinson is going to do what he's going to do on the defensive end. On the offensive end, he's not that big of a factor. You know, and shout out to Coach Rick Carlisle. He outcoached Tom Thibodeau in this game. Um, Rick Carlisle, the Pacers coach, is really putting on a masterclass these last 2 rounds and in the first game of this round. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. We'll talk about how we got to this final score in a second. I just want to go through these numbers and then I'll start yapping about how we got here. Let's talk about those Pacers, man. um, Tyrese Halliburton, 31 points, 11 assists, 2 turnovers. Really good stuff from Tyrese. Hit the game. What I alluded to earlier, hitting the game. What everybody thought was the game-winning shot turned into the game-tying shot at the end of regulation. 4 of 12 from three. Did not shoot the best from three. Hit the ones that mattered. 12 of 23. This is what you're gonna get from Tyrese. The percentages and the splits are never gonna look pretty, but he's gonna step up. He's stepped up so big in these playoffs, and he's stepped up big in this game. And man, oh man, what a game from Tyrese! A when you think Tyrese has hit a level, and he just keeps going up another level and another level and another level, and he's gonna have a bad game in this series. It's gonna happen. They're gonna lock him up at some point. Um, but man, oh man, he keeps pushing himself. He keeps pushing this team to different levels, and The other guy who helped him out last night, Aaron Nesmith, with 2 A's, Aaron. 30 points, 2 blocks, um, 1 steal, 5 rebounds. Oh, pardon me, 2 rebounds, 8 of 9 from three. Almost all of those threes came in the closing minutes, in the closing seconds of regulation. Huge, huge, huge momentum swing. Aaron Nesmith saved this game for the Pacers. This game will be known as the Aaron Nesmith game. Um, 9 of 13 overall from field goal. I do want to go into um, the shot chart here, and I can give you an exact what's it called? Not play by play. What's it called? Exact shot chart for you guys. So let's go. Um, go Aaron Nesmith makes and misses fourth quarter. Aaron Nesmith hit, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He took 7 threes, he made 6 of them. And this is all in like the closing minutes of the fourth quarter here. All within the closing minutes of the fourth quarter. If I go back here, let me see here. If I go back here, oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So it started for Aaron Nesmith with 13 minutes left. He made a 26-foot three-pointer, and then he made a 25-foot three-point jumper, and then he made a 26 one again, and then he made a 30-foot one, and then he made a 27-foot one, and then he got to the line and made two of two free throws. And then we'll talk about the last possession for the Pacers here in a second, but he took over that game with 3 minutes left, and I'd never quite seen anything like that. That was like, oh man, it wasn't even like it was reminiscent of like prime Klay Thompson, or like prime like Kyle Korver, or prime like Reggie Miller. Oh, well, not Reggie. I didn't mean to say Reggie Miller, but Ray Allen. Like it was up there with those performances. With Tracy McGrady making whatever many shots in whatever many seconds. Um, it was like they flipped a switch, or he flipped a switch, and there was one three where he caught. I think it was an inbound. It was inbound, and he caught it, and he didn't even like fake it left. He just immediately took one, two dribbles, went up. His legs weren't really under him, and uh his defender, Josh Hart, like slipped, or he tripped on his own foot, and Aaron Nesmith, I think he over thought it because he thought Hart was gonna be there, so he jumped up a little too high, and his legs went under him, and it went in. It was incredible. Let's talk about the other Pacers real quick. Miles Turner, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. Pretty good stuff for him. He had a crazy pass. I forget who it was too. He had it was a fast break, and he was already back on the offensive side of the ball, and Tyrese had it, and Tyrese threw it to him, and it was another Pacers player running towards the basket, and the Knicks player ran towards Miles, and Miles just darted it to his teammate under the basket, and he made the shot. It was a good shot, great shot. What is it called? Good shot, great shot. IQ right there. Uh, Pascal Siakam, 17 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Pascal was kind of invisible in this game. Um, I've never been the biggest Pascal fan, but a serviceable 17 points makes all the difference. It makes all the difference. Um, you're sort of looking at him as your number two, but like if Aaron Nesmith is going to show up as your number two, and Pascal's not going to take the ball out of his hands, by all means, have 17 points, Pascal. Last guy in the starting lineup, Andrew Nemhard, 15 points, 4 assists, 2 of 3 from three, 6 of 10 overall from field goal. Pretty solid stuff. Pretty solid stuff. Guys off the bench, Benedict Mathurin, 9, Obi Toppin, 8. not hit. He had an amazing dunk in overtime. Uh, flew right past Mikal Bridges, double clutched it essentially, and threw it down. Probably got fouled on that too. Um, Thomas Bryant 4 points came in for Miles Turner at some point. Some points during this game, TJ McConnell went on a heater by himself, and I think that was like the second quarter, might have been the third. 10 points for him, really good boost. Whenever you get TJ around 10 or above 10, it's a good night for the Pacers. And yeah, really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. Let's talk about the last sequence that led to overtime here. So I have it pulled up. I was ready for this. So let's see. So Tyrese is going up the floor. This isn't like the last seconds of the. Actually, let me pull it back up. This isn't like the last seconds of the game. This is like with like 6 seconds left, right? They inbound the ball on the far side, or at the baseline, at the other baseline. Tyrese is going up the floor. He has Mikal Bridges on him. He drives past Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges tries to poke the ball away, doesn't get it. Tyrese is in the paint now. Mitchell Robinson shows. He's like knock into the basket. And Mikal Bridges is flying out of the frame. I'm watching this right now. He's flying out of the frame. It's essentially a switch, which you didn't want. You have, I think that's Aaron Nesmith diving to the basket. Literally, they're running past each other. Tyrese and Aaron. They're literally running opposite directions because Aaron is running towards the bucket. Tyrese is running towards the three. He's dribbling it back out. Tyrese is dribbling, gets it out. This is a crazy shot. He gets his feet behind the line, right? And he hoists it up on Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is like, was he almost 7 foot? Tyrese with his little awkward jumper gets it. It's up. It's up. It bounces off the back of the rim. The clock has expired. He let it go before the clock expired, though. It was already in the air. It goes up, and it drops right in. Oh my gosh. It chops right in. The Pacers bench goes crazy. Tyrese is doing the Reggie Miller choking celebration um, because he thought it was a three. He thought he had gamed the Knicks in the Garden, right? And I think everybody did. Um, you could see some, what's it called? Some Knicks fans holding up two fingers like they knew it was a 2 pointer on the floor. I guess if you were on the floor, you could tell it was a 2 pointer. Obviously, I'm watching from the camera angle, so I can't see it. I can't see from that direction. But the Knicks fans are right. It was a two. So instead of tying it, instead of winning 126 to the Knicks 125, the the it's tied at 125 and we go to overtime in the Garden. And in overtime, the Knicks tried their damnedest, man. They tried this is where I got really like um concerning because it looked like the Knicks had weathered the storm. It had looked like they were gonna go on a run. Um, let me see. Karl Towns. Let me see here. Let me see. Karl Towns makes a 17-foot 2 point shot. You know, they go back and forth a little bit. The Knicks are sort of pulling away a little bit. It's 129 to 125. And then Andrew Nemhard makes a 3 point shot. Brings it to a 1 point game. 128 Pacers, 129 Knicks. And then the Pacers really start pulling it away. It's at 130, 131, 130, 131, 132, 132, 132, 133, 34, 35. And then um, Andrew Nemhard makes a layup from Tyrese Halliburton. Pacers lead. And then from that point, with 26 seconds left, the Pacers never gave up the lead, and Obi Toppin made that dunk I was talking about earlier. So yeah, that was the game, man. That was the game. Um, what else do I have to say about this game? I really don't have to say anything. how do the Pacers consistently do this? Is the question. Let me think. How do the Pacers consistently win a game one in an opponent's building? Game one's one of the most one of the hardest games to win. Um, in sports, in any sport, game one in another person's arena, stadium, whatever, it's so hard to win. Um, how do they do it? I'm gonna say this. I think the Pacers are the first team of this I'll say this decade. I'll say this decade of this decade who actually play 48 minutes of tough basketball, and that's a function of they do get themselves in a hole and they do dig themselves out of holes quite well, the best actually. Um, they are this is a team that dub them like the 48-minute Pacers because you got to play them 48 minutes and extra because they're going to keep coming in overtime. They're going to keep going, and they just have done an amazing job of um, putting this group together that wants to play 48 minutes of basketball. They're not scared to play 48 minutes of basketball. And some of these other teams, man, they get comfortable. And I'm not saying the Knicks got comfortable because I've said nothing but they tried their hardest this game. They really wanted to win this first game in 24 years, Eastern Conference Finals. You wanted to win game one. And it kind of just bursted the whole bubble. Um, and it's one thing to win or to for the Knicks to have won this game theoretically and then lose game two. Game two is like, oh, okay, we lost one at home. We just gotta go to Indiana and win one more. Now the series is sort of flipped because now you have to win. You have to win tomorrow, or not tomorrow. You have to win game two, and you have to win game three. Because if you go down 2-1, these Pacers have shown they're not scared to come into Madison Square Garden and win a game, and then you could be down 3-1, just like the Cavaliers. It's as easy as that. It's crazy, man. Shout out Tyrese Halliburton. Shout out Coach Rick Carlisle. Shout out Aaron Neesmith, man. What a great game. And now tonight we have to go back to we have to go back to Timberwolves OKC, the series that nobody likes. Because this was such great basketball, man. Again, this was a hardwood classic of basketball. Um, can't wait to watch this one in like uh, 10, 15 years and be like, oh yeah, that was a really good game. That was one of the best game ones in NBA history. But yeah, what else is on the list? Oh, before we get out of here, no video tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. No video tomorrow. I was actually gonna skip today and record a video um, tomorrow and talk about this game and game two of Timberwolves OKC. But this game was just so freaking good. I had to make a video. So no video tomorrow. We'll let a couple games go by, see what's going on in this series, obviously, and in OKC Timberwolves. You will get a couple of you'll probably get two videos this weekend. We'll talk about Shea Gilgeous-Alexander MVP, and we'll talk about some WNBA stuff. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Cheers.